Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, we
we
can hear you.
Right. Yeah. My name is Tolulope from Nigeria. I just joined as well. This is my first time, and I'm hoping to learn one or two things.
Cool.
Yeah, a small introduction would be great so that we can know you better.
Okay, then I guess David, are you introducing yourself a little so that everyone gets to know you better?
Sorry, are you talking to me?
Okay, sure, no problem. Then welcome to the community. Are there any other newcomers? No, I don't see any other newcomers there in the call. So cool then. Are we ready with our minutes?
Can everyone just list the topics in the chat so that I can list them out? I don't know everyone's topics.
Yep. So, so Krishna, did you write down your topic inside the meeting minutes? And then
No, I haven't. I am sharing the PR of the dark mode. We can discuss.
Okay, but put them into the minutes if you would, please. Help organize. We're kind of struggling. We're missing a host today, so today's a little bit odd. As Sean's doing and Yash are really helping. So we get the live stream up. We've been able to hear from David or from Tolupe. Oh man, David, your first name, your last name. It's a tongue twister for me.
Yeah, it's fine.
But one thing.
Yes, it's already added to the meeting minutes.
Oh, nice. And then the sound was going in and out for me, so I'm not sure if David said this, but David's already written an article. I think wrote a second one in draft already. He's got a new article published on Layer 5.io. I think it was just merged a day or two ago. So it's great to have David on the call. Some great writing, man. Really, a lot easier to review than almost everyone else before you. So good work.
Thank you.
Haley, I just joined, so if you are missing host, I can take up.
That'd be helpful. I mean, Yash and it's also a good trial by fire for Yash and Ishan.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I've shared the deploy preview for the pull request. Can I share my screen? Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, we're a bit disorganized, but Krishna, you may as well. Let's dive in and check out the changes that you've been working on.
Recently I've changed the gradient here. When you hover, there is no gradient and gray background going on the nav bars.
Krishna, I apologies for interrupting. If you don't mind, if you take a step back and kind of introduce the topic and your goals, I'm not sure that everybody's familiar with your work thus far.
Yes. Yes. I was designing the dark mode for the Mastery IO website. Currently, we don't have any dark mode for the Mastery IO website. So this was regarding the dark mode. So I was suggested to change the gradients from remove the gradients from the buttons. So I removed here the gradients.
Well, and by gradients, Krishna means the.
Yes,
Well, do you want to show them?
yes, the backgrounds. And I changed the background color for this the div top of the screenshot. This one.
And so, for everybody else on the call, as Krishna goes through this, he's looking for feedback, or he's. I think he's basically done with this creation of the ability to switch between a light mode and a dark mode on the website. As he's done this, he's made some positive updates on the light mode itself, which is the only mode that the website has today. It doesn't make use of those colored gradients that you see behind the word extensible. So that's new. And he's bringing in a few new things. So he's looking to get his PR landed, because it's been a while that he's been working on this. He's going to walk through some of those changes in light mode. If you have comments, please speak up as he's going through. And then he's going to walk through the dark mode as well. And, if he only receives positive feedback or no feedback, I imagine his PR will be merged. So give him some feedback before it gets merged with things that may not look good.
Yes. So I made a little animations for these navbar links in my peer. That's like this is the animation when you hover over any of the links. And I shifted the getting started section after the features section. I think currently we have the getting started section after the hero section, but I shifted it down here. Like when the feature section is over, then we get the getting started section.
Great work, man, Krishna. But it looks fantastic. But what I think, I don't know if you all agree, but what I think is, if like right now we have a green colored background for the site, right? And here we have it white. So I think if some sort of green or some sort of background other than the white, it will make a lot more sense and it will look good also. I don't know how many of you all agree.
For the hero section or for the getting started section?
No, for the site where the tagline is the extensible Kubernetes manager.
Yeah. Another change. Like I added a little box shadow to this for the box containing the code. And I also added here the gradients for the light mode for these cards. It might be not visible to you, but there is a little gradient going on for these cards in the light mode and in the dark mode also.
In the dark mode, the Meshri written is disappears. So please look into that.
Where?
Oh no, sorry. I guess in my disappeared. Sorry, my fault. I guess yeah. In mine it disappears. I guess it's a Safari issue. Look into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me check on Chrome. Yeah, it's a Safari issue.
For everyone that's on the call, you can browse the changes locally just by visiting the deploy preview link, and you can try out the dark mode on your machine.
I think here I did something wrong. These are not aligned and not of the same width. I have to change these buttons.
Yeah. Krishna, can you scroll up a little bit? Up. In the SMP section, like above, where you have written features. Yeah. Yeah, here the SMP logos is just outside the lines, so I guess you should fix this.
What's the issue here?
The logo is outside the line, I guess. Is it a feature or like it really looks weird, or it is just me only?
Like, can I say something? Like, I don't know why, but this gradients here, it is looking like a button to me.
True.
Maybe we can make the text bolder instead of making it gradient. Because generally, if it is a button, they have such backgrounds.
Yes, I tried to separate it from the buttons. On the buttons, I made this.
Also, man, I just noticed, can you switch to dark mode and scroll down where we list all those companies? Yeah, we might need a new logo for a couple of them, like a
Yes,
dark
yes.
mode compatible logo.
Yes, I haven't fixed the logos yet. I'm using the same logo, but and just adding the filter for the
Yeah,
images.
especially for
We have
Metamob and some of
Yes,
the companies, but then other than that, it looks good.
the form is and in the catalog this is the same, but add here in the this box where the categories are listed, I added a little box shadow for this categories box, and for the cards I added a flip animation for them.
Ooh, sexy. It's pretty rich, pretty cool. The B is still bugging you, I suppose. It still needs its background dealt with, but the colors here are pretty rich. The intensity of the green behind the white mode cards is is a higher intensity than the site currently has, which I think can work pretty well. You have also bounded or added a box shadow to the categories menu on the left, which can be fine. That it will need some additional padding, probably internally. One thing that these pages have been, the catalog pages have not done well with, maybe is mobile friendliness. I'm curious what it looks like if when you open up a card, or when you were to click on a card and get and get more details, if you squish that on down, like way down, I suspect we're still kind of in a position in which the cards don't take full advantage of all the space that they have. So if you click a card to go into the modal.
I'm clicking, but the modal is not open.
Okay.
Let
If you go to the next page, there might be a design.
Where?
Yep, one of the patterns, one of the green colored patterns or designs, they're right there. Yeah. Are you able
I'm
to
clicking.
click? Okay. So unfortunately, we've got a number of issues. The filters that we've got in mobile mode, it's not quite working out with the box shadow in the background. Not exactly your issue, but we've got some mobile issues with the cards that don't seem to take up the full space afforded to them, which makes them difficult to read because the words form a really tall, skinny column. So here we show the filters as a green button. That's okay, although it's divergent from, or we don't use green in non-mobile mode. So some amount of consistency might be good. Arumia's feedback on the colored gradient looking like a button. I think you've got that feedback like each time that you've presented this. So something needs to be really clarified between the use of that color as a highlight versus an action. The uplifted button getting started in the upper right hand corner, it starts to look kind of comical, and like I don't recommend us having a shadow behind it or even an outline. Let's be really consistent with what's an action, what's a button, and what's just highlight. And because we're not being consistent across the site with it. Some of this feedback you're receiving for the second or third or fourth time now, like on the categories needing padding. You get to write each one of them down and make sure you address each one of these. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck with the PR not getting merged.
Okay.
I know it's a lot. This is a lot of work. This is there's some really cool stuff in here, by the way. The cards flipping over, super cool idea. There's additional information about each one of those designs or those filters that can be displayed on the back side of the card, kind of like a baseball card, like a comic book card. You might flip it over to get some stats or some information about the particular card. How many times it was downloaded, who uploaded it, how is it supported, or just there's there is some of that info available that you can use to put on the back of the card. We do want to make sure that they're still clickable, so people, you can, if you click right now, will you go into the modal?
Yes.
Okay, great. And the coloring here is terrible. It's terrible. And the scroll bar is horrible. It's terrible, horrible, the scroll bar. Some of that isn't your fault. Like there's just issues with the current site. So anyway, so see the gray buttons. I assume that means they're disabled, right? Because that's what gray means, inactive, disabled. But they're not. You can actually click those, so that's another issue. I think we pointed that one out before. So you got to itemize all the issues, make sure you address them all. If you go up to up here on resources and catalog, we've got resources highlighted because there's a catalog link under resources, I think.
Yes.
But which is kind of confusing to the user if we're really trying to indicate to them which one of the pages is active. Well, we got 2 active. It's like, wow, I'm on 2 pages at once. I don't know. Again, kind of not your fault, but like if you're going to highlight it, then so if there's some stuff in dark mode that's just that's really fantastic that you've done. The site itself becomes rich, color rich. It's quite pretty. There's not a lot of padding. See the labels at the top of the cards. Deployment. What is it? Boy, it's really small on my mobile phone. Deployment, resiliency. There's just not a lot of padding between the edge. Like let's either make it the edge, put it up all the way on the edge, or give it a little bit of space and room to breathe. The label. Yeah, it's just, it's just the buttons here are green, the ones that you click, and that like for filters and load more on the page. But then that's the same color that we're using for the labels, which are not clickable necessarily. And so, yeah, we're confusing the user with part of our UX. If you can, the menu. Oh yeah. Anyway, it's good. This is great, man. I'm sure that this is what we'll go through. There's a number of tiny items that are biting you. Right now, it looks like the filters menu is being overlapped by the cards. I'm not sure how that's happening. On the left-hand side, you see the, yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah. Cool. Good. Keep up the good work. You've got more feedback than I think. Just
Yes.
give more feedback to work through. Certainly, if other people have feedback, so that you've got to get rid of that initial animation thing, that transposition that's going on. That is straight from, I don't know, straight from the 1990s or whatever. Just you can't do that animation on load. Does that make sense? Do you agree or disagree?
Yes. I forgot to remove that animation.
Okay, cool. But like it's a good thing to explore. Like it makes sense that you might have added an animation just to see what kind of transition, if that would work out, and so it felt good to explore. Cool. Anyway, I just want to give you a barrage of feedback so you can keep iterating. The color on the screenshots, that looks nice at the top. The color that you were highlighting on the top of the screenshots, that looks nice. Yeah, it looks
Okay,
consistent.
can I say something?
Yeah, please.
Concerning the designs are great. Because every of the buildings are nice. What I want to talk about is just some of the colors based on the UI designs. Is there a design for this?
What?
Is there a design for this in the Figma profile? Maybe I can make some adjustment, then you can work on the adjustment. Because first, the color of the buttons are not good at all. We're supposed to use a primary color on those buttons in particular. Those buttons here, the first review catalog buttons, then the padding around the buttons are not great, are not consistent, like they are not good. Then maybe you can scroll down a little, let me go down a little, let me show some stuff. Okay, for example, look at this one. Now, this button here has a large label on it, like say the merge service and something. So we need to just maybe try to shorten it a little to show a sign, and then we change it to primary buttons. The primary color is green, right? Hello?
Hello.
Okay, you can hear me. It's just a suggestion. The primary buttons should be green, since they are all buttons are important to each of like the explanation there. Try to shorten the label on this one, then change the color to green. That would be better. Like the normal primary color would be really nice. You get me?
Yes, yes. Are you talking about this primary?
Because I think
one.
the overall color is green, but let's try to make it green. Then maybe the overall color will be a thicker green.
Yes,
But let's try to use the primary color there. So let that be consistency. Using that brick color is not good for the button. You understand?
Okay.
Okay.
And any other suggestions?
Okay, cool. Great feedback for Krishna. I think it's a lot to process for him in one day, but I'm sure he'll do it. Is there any other topic anyone wants to discuss? Because I don't see anyone updating the meeting minutes for today. Also, everyone make sure to put your names in the attendees list so that we know who all are attending and who all are not. I'll share the link to the minutes in the chat. Is there any other topic anyone wants to discuss today?
Okay,
Yeah.
I have something to say. Concerning the last meeting, we talked about the pattern in action page update. I'm trying to get the content to design that page, but I have not have access to the content, like the overview content written down to put in those pages. Who is in charge of providing the content?
I think for the content of service mesh patterns, you will have to look into the what patterns are, what a service mesh is a little bit, so that you can get a background on what is going on. If not a lot, at least you would require the basic knowledge so as to design the patterns in action page. I might not be the right most valid person to talk to, but there are a lot of people in our Slack. You can ping any one of them and they'll help you in this. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you can just ask in the community channel, I guess, in the website's channel, and anyone can reply with you back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any other topic you would like to discuss? Are you guys sure there's no one? There's no other topic remaining?
Last week we spoke a bit about tying off the Surface Mesh Patterns website, the same website that Botany is referring to now. And we had noted that there's really kind of one last page to create. And Botany, I think it sounds like you've got a question or two about that page. I can certainly help. We don't have any draft designs by chance, or just any draft implementations to review today, do we?
No, not yet. All I need is content to face on the overview so I can make the style out. That's what I just need. Since I dropped a message, I thought we're supposed to have an huddle on Slack to fix those stuff. That's why there's no draft yet.
Okay, got you. Well, I'll certainly be responsive in Slack, or I'll certainly try to pump you full of content. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, even in some areas, if we end up using a video on the page, or potentially a video on the page for sure, that we might have to go make the video. So in the meantime, you might just have a placeholder for it, but otherwise we'll get you more content. Last time I think we
yeah, sorry, Lee, go ahead.
Oh yeah, just that I don't recall if we went around the room. I don't know if we went around the proverbial room and just ensured that everybody that was here that wanted to work on something had a little something to work on. That might be a healthy exercise to do.
I have shared a link of a PR for integrations page for Meshri.io on which Kamal and Gaganpreet was working. So I don't think they are pretty active on this particular issue. So if anyone else would like, let me share my screen. So if anyone else would like to take over this item and wrap this thing, so they are welcome to do so.
Oh yeah. Gosh, what's
Yes,
going on there?
I can.
Okay.
I can
Krishna,
do this. Yes, I can take
Krishna,
on this.
That'd be great, man. That'd be great, Krishna. I think we're totally in harmony today, Krishna. I'm speaking at exactly the same time you speak, so sorry for that. I know Gaganpreet has put in a bit more effort recently on the integration of this 3D visualization for integrations. And I thought that her most recent work was on Meshri.io. It is, if you were to take a quick look at the latest deploy preview, we might find that this might be ready for merge. Like I think she got it. Okay, so that's really pretty. Now, here's a challenge, and for everybody that's on the call, that please think about this for a moment. One of the challenges is that as a site visitor navigates the page, as they use their mouse wheel to scroll down the page like everyone does, when they reach this integration section, their mouse wheel is going to be sucked into this. Like it's going to change from scrolling up and down the page to zooming in and out of the. And so how do we, so now that, how do we make sure that the user can still scroll over this versus zoom into it? Should it be click to activate, click to unactivate? No. Should it not be the 100% width? Should we make sure that there's always a little bit of space that people can see at the bottom so that they can move their mouse there and then wheel over it? Or...
Yes, I think we can add borders around it.
Yeah, yep. Any other ideas? The frustrating part about having borders or really any of the solutions that I said is, well, then it looks like it's not, it looks like it's some separate module, some third-party library that we pulled in and just kind of iframed into the site. And so it ends up having the effect of making it look not first class. So that's kind of frustrating.
We can add borders to the top and the bottom only.
Cool. What if we, just brainstorming here, gave the users instructions about how to, so yeah, that definitely makes it look like an iframe. Like, what if there were instructions to say, to I don't know, to tell people how to navigate?
Cool. Any other suggestions, guys? Also, this PR is almost about to get merged. There's just a few tweaks here and there left. So if anyone is, oh yeah, right. Krishna just said he's going to take this PR up and complete it. Yeah. So I think we have another newcomer on the call who has joined late. Yash, is this the first time you are in this call? Yash Sharma, I mean. Hello? Yash, can you hear us? Okay, I guess he can't hear us today. Maybe next time. Any other issues, guys, you'd like to discuss today? We still have 7 minutes or around 10 minutes remaining for the meeting.
Yeah, I had one issue. So I took up an issue to add the book link to the okay, let me just share the link in the chat.
You can share the screen, or you can share the link and I'll share the screen.
Okay, I'm going to sharing the screen.
Okay.
So like I took up this issue to work on, like how to add okay. So this page in the books page of the website. So any suggestions on where I should go with adding the page? Like a link to this page should be on the books page. Let me show it on the books page.
Yeah, a good issue. Actually, this site, Service Mesh Patterns, this site is for a book which is written by Lee and Nick Jackson on the very same topic called the Service Mesh Patterns. So yeah, the issue is about to add links wherever necessary on the Layer 5 site where you think a link to this site to know more about the book needs to be added. Maybe the community section or maybe even the resources or the blog section, wherever it's necessary. You'll have to go through the site and check if there's a need to add a service mesh patterns link, a link to this site.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, so wherever it is necessary to add this, the link to this book, I should add it. The
Yeah,
issue is in
wherever
that, right?
you think it is necessary,
Okay.
you can just comment on the issue and we'll help you out and we'll help you make a suggestion whether it's actually necessary or not.
Okay. Okay, I got it. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Just helping brainstorm aloud with you about where links to the site could be dropped. So certainly on the books page or the page that has that specific book, so that makes sense. There are there's a lot of articles, resource articles. If David's still on the phone, he just wrote one. Yeah, yep. Like his if anybody's sharing the screen, it's layer5io/resources. There's a lot of articles that are written and are available for site visitors to read. Part of what happens inside of those articles is there will be small, there will be adverts, if you will, interjected, either at the bottom of the article or like in the middle of the article. So yeah, if you were to click into that one, and yeah, there's a section that talks about, at the bottom it says mesh map is here. So if you'd like to check that out, great. And they think in the middle of the article, there's another call to action right there. Yeah. Multi-cluster management with Meshery. Read the blog post is the call to action, that yellow button. Great. So there's a system that this community created, some of the contributors on the community created for these CTAs, these call to actions. And so it would make a lot of sense that there might be a call to action for people to visit the Service Mesh Patterns site. Yeah, and there's 3 types of call to actions. There's a graphic only. There's a full width like this that we see right here is a graphic, some text, and a button. And then there's a third one. It's the call to action that gets put at the bottom of the page. Yeah, so that's a good challenge, Arunima, for potentially making a call to action to visit the website. Another
Okay.
thought is, yeah, if you were to visit the blog page, so layer5io/blog, on the right-hand side, there's a list of categories and tags, but there's also another sort of call to action. There's one that says, join the conversation in the upper right-hand corner. And it's like a little advertisement, if you will. And that would take you to the discussion forum. And so just another, like, to the extent that there's another site where people can really dig into and browse the patterns, maybe there's a call to action kind of like this. That's like, dig into service mesh patterns, and people can visit the site like that.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah. There's a service mesh patterns logo. So in terms of like potential use of a graphic, like, oh yeah, so.
Or maybe I can go about doing one more thing, that I can just leave the link to the issue in the website's channel, and take others' opinions also, like where the link should be added, and then start working on it.
Yeah, most certainly you can. Here's something
Wow.
I'll challenge you on is like grow. Like, hey, it ain't very hard to figure out like where to put some links on the site to another site. Like, think about it yourself, figure it out. Like,
Okay.
I almost responded to you on your question where you were asking that to say, hey, look, if I have to take the time to explain to you, to put some links, like I may as well just go do it. And that's not meant to be mean. That's meant to say, hey, look, you're a bright individual.
Okay.
Go make some suggestions. Go, and like you're totally capable of that. So I mean, don't hesitate to ask other people and do exactly what you said, but also like bring your suggestions.
Okay. Sure. Got it.
Yeah. I'm sure that when you do, I'll poop all over them. Or no, what I mean is like, I'm sure that when you do, you'll probably have some great suggestions. And yeah,
Okay.
definitely ask others as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you, Lee. Thank you, Arundhama. Before we end the meeting, a short topic to discuss, that is, we have a couple of blogs that have been pending to write since a month now. So you can check out the content calendar, and if any kind of topic interests you, you can volunteer to write those blogs, which are going to be published in the blog section. And most prominently the resource section. So I'll just provide you with the link to the content calendar. All the topics which are yet to be published are at the bottom of this sheet. So if any topic interests you, you can just ping Deepshana on Slack. I am not sure if she is here today, but yeah, I'll provide you guys with the link. Cool. Then I think we are on time. So if there's anything else left, you can just tell, or otherwise we are good to end the meeting.
Just thank you for hosting it, Sean. Thanks for jumping in, Yash. That really helped.
Yeah, no problem. This is my first time. I would have done better.
No, yeah, with no warning either. That's great.
Yeah, sure.
Are
we good to end the meeting?
Yep. So we're good to go. Thanks for hosting. Very nice to see everybody today.
Yeah, thank you. Things were a little disorganized today, but hopefully next time we'll be more careful, guys. Cool. Thanks for joining, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Bye all.
Bye, everyone.